We are back on our grind, ladies and gentlemen, and Gallade is here. Now, firstly, I want to start this video by apologizing to anybody, because I just thought about it, but specifically yesterday's video. There was a moment where I missed a Draco, and I yelled, and for my headphone users, I received a lot of complaints on that. So, my apologies for that. And it's funny, I apologized in the video, but I could have done something like warn or something like that. So, my apologies for that. But it made me think, something I don't do often enough is ask what are ways to improve and enhance, because everybody comes here for a particular thing, which is why I did the asked recently, like when you think of the Academy brand, what comes to mind? And that's because I want to tailor everything to serve those who actually desire a channel rather than like being a broad stroke. It's like, okay, who actually taps in? I notice my audience are very analytical type thinkers, and so they appreciate that delivery style when they're watching, right? Versus pure entertainment, though it's entertaining to see plays, but you know what I mean. And so I want more clarity, and so I need you guys for that. So definitely let me know what can be enhanced, what can be reduced. Trust me, I have thick skin. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. I want the truth so that we can provide better content, right? So today we're going to be using Psychic Terrain Gallade, and thank you in advance for those who took the time to comment. We're going to hop right into it. I really don't know what to expect here. It's always fun to see what you have in theory. Well, I know what to expect now. Stall. That's actually kind of funny. Did we decay? Okay. I was like, I don't think you decay when you're this low on the ladder. But we're on our way. So we're facing hard stall, which I'm actually excited for. Because if we can merc hard stall, then what can't be done, right? What can't be done? Interesting. Gallade, no psychic resist. So psychic terrain plus Gallade plus hazards. Game time. That plus knockoff. Game time. My Indeed is actually psychic. I probably should make it Psy Shock. For Blissies and such. Psy Shock. There we go. So looking at this, I could destroy him with Boko Corviknight at some point, but I'd need Dondozo gone. But my aim here is hazards, get Gallade in as often as possible, and click Psycho Cut. Now the Aloma Mola is probably boots, but the upside is that the only thing that comes in on Great Tusk comfortably is Dondozo and Aloma Mola, and I can remove those things items. Now, when you're looking at stall games like this, the question is, people sometimes go like, how can I break them in the shortest time possible? But another perspective as well is, how can they break me, right? And if they don't have an answer to many of your things, right, it's actually very difficult for them to gain any progress. Now, he doesn't have any hazard control. The Clodsire is gonna be annoying because it's gonna be his spiker, right? But you don't want to just be tainted. Oh no, his team's bulky, so what do I do, right? And so I think when I look at it, you can't guard against Gallade in the late game. I'm very careful about the Talonflame and Flame Body. Indeed, he's actually legit. If Blissey goes, like, it's a legit sweeper. Especially because I have Encore. Scarlet is actually quite annoying. He doesn't like his items knocked, and Talonflame likely has to come in on that. So I might be able to get his item pronto, which allows me to get rocks, and that's his form of hazard control in this game. Toxapex cannot be killed, pretty much. And Great Tusk, support, and then potential late game Corvi. So phase one, it's a matter of figuring out what does the opponent have on his mind, right? And so phase one is going to evolve, likely a Talonflame. I figured Talonflame would come out, but the thing about it is I can't stop Talonflame from burning my Pex. That matchup is always going to happen. Because I could have led Pex, but then I'm predicting Pex versus Clodsire. Clodsire gets spikes, and then I'm threatened. Whereas I'm going to get burnt anyway, so I might as well just get the burn. And you're like, okay, Jam, how do you know that? Well, in every battle, Pokemon's a battle of anticipation, right? And so you your every turn is based on anticipating the opponent to do something. So if I've never seen a Talonflame before, then I couldn't. And why that's important is you cannot play without the knowledge ahead of time. So I've seen one of these before, and so I can make the appropriate actions. If I've never seen one, I'd be like how I was at the beginning of the generation. So now the question is, what next, right? The Talonflame is in. What's next? I don't know the opponent levels of skill, so I'm going to go just for the Surf here as he goes to Toxapex. The reason I surfed is because I expected Clodsire, actually. Now, my Toxapex not having leftovers does matter. But as I said, we're just going to... So this is about pressure stalling now. So it goes for Infestation, which is interesting. So that gives me a bit of data. As we are going to just bulk up. The reason I'm bulking up is to see what his initial decision is going to be. So it goes to Alomomola. Alomomola. We're going to go Miarascarada here. Because he's either going to... I could have subbed there because Infestation and we could stall. But the point there was to to get the Miarascarada in. The Talonflame is likely Defog, as we already established. So we're going to do... He actually goes for... It doesn't matter. We're always going to knock off here. It's heavy duty boost, I'm sure, right? And that's going to matter later on. So it goes for Whirlpool, which isn't ideal for us. But very interesting decisions. So Miarascarada is actually lower than I expected it to be. But for the long term, it's not the end of the world. As we get Toxapex positioning here. So this is great. So based on the way he just played those sequences, it lets me know a lot about him, right? A lot about him. So that spike being up is going to be huge. Huge, 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 huge. And so Gallade is about to go in. So I know Chilling Water, the other two is going to be Wish Protect. He obviously does not want to get what's the word? Does not want to get spiked. That's toxic. There we go. So what we're gonna do is Indeedee here. I did not expect Blissey, but this works out fine. The reason we went Indeedee is because I anticipated the Toxapex. He's heavy duty boots Blissey, which is good information. I know Blissey can't get toxic, so this allows for me to go to Great Tusk as he goes for the Stealth Rocks. This allows for us to spin potentially, but the question is, okay, what's the long term, right? What am I trying to achieve here? His options here are Dondozo, Alomomola, and Talonflame. So let's say he goes to Talonflame and I go for Stealth Rocks, then he gets to Defog and I get nothing out of the turn. Let's say he goes to Alomomola and I knock off, I also get nothing out of the turn. Let's say I Rapid Spin and he goes Talonflame, right? So he goes Alomomola. The reason I Rapid Spin is it's one play that guaranteed me a positive outcome, right? And so now that he's gone Alomomola, Toxapex can be positioned again to ensure that I can toxic some motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna Surf here. It's always the best play. He's scouting to see if I have anything. I'm gonna toxic here on the off chance that he thinks that Alomomola is a safe play. But you should always go to your Pex here. But he goes Blissey, and I did this toxic because he went Blissey last time. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's in a mental position of, okay, well, Blissey is invincible and it can't be touched. And I'm waiting patiently on the turn where I can get my Gallade in. So he double switches here to Talonflame. My Great Tusk is very important. I know he wants to defog. Debating whether or not I want to remove his item here. If it's better, I actually don't want my Tusk burnt. So he defogs there. If I knocked off, we'd be in a fine position. But there's gonna come a time where I'll condition my opponent to the point where my Gallade can come in. I just need to gauge the level of player he is. Does he know what he's doing? Is he thinking such and such, such and such, right? So we're gonna go for the Indeedee makes the most sense. The reason if we can infinitely go to Blissey won't make a difference, right? It won't make a lick of difference, right? So we always are gonna spin on the Blissey. I don't know why he stayed in, but this is what I'm talking about. These are the sequences. Now him staying in there is a big deal for us because what this allows for us to go for Stealth Rocks in case he goes. I went for knock first, anticipating the Talonflame, but again, you want to think about the play that guarantees you value out of the turn. So this is amazing for us, as this allows, remember, every time Pexis comes in, he can't get rid of hazards because Pex matches up phenomenally versus the Talonflame. But because he has the interesting. So now things get interesting because we have the Psychic Terrain up. I could go Gallade here. Psychic Terrain, Gallade. Could Meowscarada as well. The reason I'm not going Meow is because I don't know what his, or Gallade, I don't know what his other move is. It could be, so here comes Talonflame. And now he's going to defog. I know he's guaranteed not, I have to knock this off eventually. I know he's not going to go for the Wisp this turn. I mean, even if he does, so it's Terra Ghost. Interesting. It's actually useful because now he can't, now I can Earthquake him. He might be faster than me, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Yeah, so that means his Talon. So now he's terrestrialized, and his Talonflame is a ghost type now, which means that he can spin block. But the Talonflame was likely going to die to everything, and you know, things and such and whatnots and suches and knots and such, right? So we never ever allow him to Whirlpool our Great Tusk here. Sure, I could have anticipated that and blah blah blah. But we never ever, and we toxic every time. You don't want Talonflame coming in for free, even if it does have Heal Bell or something like that. So Clodsire comes out, which I figured would eventually. I was actually surprised he hadn't used it yet. Clodsire is a tricky mon because we don't know too much about it, but the Blissey's is getting more and more weakened. The Clodsire is likely going to eventually spike. Or toxic, you know, things of that nature. But we want to be patient and figure out, okay, what's our counterplay here, right? Dondozo shuts down our Talonflame. I mean, our Corviknight, and that's it, really. Like Corviknight sweeps him. We just need to figure out a way to get Dondozo in. Now the Clodsire is a bitch. So what we're gonna end up doing is, indeed, if he did toxic, it wouldn't have been the end of the world. I'm very surprised he EQ'd, truth be told. But what this does is allows for us to pivot to Great Tusk. One thing I know he won't use is Toxic, because if I attack into Side Shock here, he loses a lot of value. If he just goes, or he's going to go Stain and go for Earthquake, and he's already terrestrialized, and so it gives our Great Tusk a position of power. Now, I can't play this game like completely risk-free where there's no risk, but there are ways to get around things, right? If I had Side Shock, as I said, this would be a very interesting situation. So the Blissey is in like I expected, and now we can just go for Stealth Rocks as he goes to Alomomola. This is perfect. This is what we wanted. And so, as we stated before, the moment Toxapex is positioned, the Talonflame can't come in freely. I don't want to go Meowscarada because Meowscarada would allow the Talonflame to heal. Would allow the Talonflame. So yeah, eventually he goes for Whirlpool because he's like, well, I'm gonna get you eventually. And Toxic is always our play here. Sure, you know, it's well, we can surf this turn. No, Toxic, if the Clodsire comes in, the Clodsire is not that significant. We just don't want Blissey coming in for free. So he stays in and Toxic, so you can tell he's starting to get impatient. We're gonna double Toxic here. So that's really, really big. That's really, really big. Chilling Water, interesting. Maybe he thinks I don't have Recover because I've never used it. And he thinks he's about to beat my pecs. So his heart just sunk 3,000%. So if this, he might forfeit here because if this is poison, if his Blissey doesn't have Heal Bell. So yeah, the fact that he didn't go Blissey there pretty much confirmed what I needed. And so now Gallade is free. All I need to do now is get the spikes up. And it's that's that, putting it simply. Thinking about Great Tusk Infestation versus Corviknight. Because if I get the spikes up, the Talon is done for. Infestation versus Great Tusk. Oh, he might have toxic actually. Let's be patient. There's no reason to rush. We'll stall out infestations between pressure and such. So our play is to just Brave Bird hard. I figured he might go hard Talonflame. That's the but as I said, there's very little risk to me. Like if I Brave Bird and he stayed in, what is he gonna do? He saw a bulk up, so I know he's scared to death of this bulking up. The Talon likely had Roost and Taunt, or maybe an attacking move. That's the other thing, right? And so now he opts for Pex, and it's confirmed heavy duty boots as we just saw. It's allows for us to substitute here. We're gonna bulk up. There's really no reason not to. He might forfeit here. He should go Dondozo, which I'm waiting for. But he just stays in. Okay, so he's Haze. So that means his last move is likely either toxic and recover, or an attacking move like Surf and recover. You might not have recover. I've seen some run random baneful bunker type thing, but it does let me know like my Gallade destroys him now, because all I need to do is terrestrialize. So we're bulking up here. Eventually, so 23%. That's good damage, because Haze gets pressure stalled. So he technically has 42. He has 21 Hazes left. I have 22 Brave Birds, as if I'm going to use all of them. But I'm just conditioning him honestly to the point where he stays in. He goes to Aloma Molla. And the dark side of this is that it allows for me to bulk up infinitely. So now I've conditioned him to the point where he's just mindlessly hazing. I don't say mindlessly, but he has to haze, do 33%. We're gonna condition him a little bit more. He's probably gonna go to Aloma Molla. I have more than enough Brave Birds, so I just need to see where he stands. So eventually he goes Dondozo, which I expected, and it's heavy duty boots Dondozo, which is good informaciones. Very, very good. So that damage on the Dondozo is going to be big. So I'm going to Brave Bird one more time. Remember we talked about in the team building video, you want to get your Dondozo down to a certain point of health. And he has body press, so it's likely not cursed. You want to get it to a certain point of health where Gallade can knock it out. And so we're going to go for Brave Bird one more time. Right. The point of the Brave Bird is not because I'm like, oh, well, you know, Corviknight beats Dondozo. Not at all. Right. The point of the Brave Bird is to make sure that when my Gallade sets up, it's a wrap. All right. So we're going to go to Pex here. He may rest this turn. If he rests, then so be it. He knows he's not at threat. And he probably is going to body press again here because, you know, if I roost, my body press is going to do about half. I could stall the body presses out, truth be told. But he goes to Aloma Molla. So now Gallade is set up for success. So we go to Ndidi. No matter what he does, truth be told. Even if he Whirlpool there, I figured he'd never Whirlpool. It's just too risky of a play. So this is phenomenal. Now we get to go to Meowscarada and get this spike up. We no longer even need Meowscarada, but I know he's going to go to Blissey, right? And so the question is, now that Blissey's in versus Meowscarada, I have a lot of leverage right now. What do I want to do with this? I could spike, which punishes the Blissey, but everything on his team is heavy duty boots. How do I want to go about this? Well, he just forfeits because he realizes. But as I said, you want to think about how does the team beat you, right? Now that takes a lot of experience and, you know, having the solution stored and playing stall teams and such. So like that's data we're taking from last generation because you're not running into hard stall like this very often. But if you notice, at that point, Gallade was just gonna hammer him, right? I was debating whether or not it's even worth spiking. It's probably better to knock there. Because one, anything he goes into, you gain value from. And the reason I'd knock over Flower Trick is because the Peck. Truth be told, I could probably Terra Grass and Flower Trick through this guy's team, like right then. The Blissey probably gets one, but the reason is I wouldn't Terra at least is because he could have T-Wave in the back. I don't know what his last move is. He has Stealth Rock, Seismic Toss. It's not Heal Bell. He definitely has a healing move. So it'd just be a matter of what that is. But at this point, Gallade, the Dondozo was weakened enough. It would have been exciting to get Gallade in and just start chopping people with my sharpness moves. But I'm sure you guys enjoyed a breakdown of stall. Now we've gone from stall to offense. So let's see how this team tackles that. Now, the beauty of this particular game is that we discussed how Gallade is just gorgeously handsome. But one of his problem is offensive checks, meaning there are things that could come in and stop it with priority after it agilities. And so within the psychic terrain here, we might be able to have a showing where that's not even relevant. You could actually even make a case for Healing Wish on D&DD to get the free switch into the Gallade and things of that nature and whatnot. But yeah, we're working with what we're working with right now. So Pex is invincible. Toxic things, and he just has to deal with it. Gallade upon agility can destroy him, but it needs a lot of conditions met. But Gallade outright is dangerous, just straight up. Great Tusk can be problematic, but yeah, Pex makes Volcarona and Cerulege, unless it's that one Cerulege with the taunt. If that's the case, how would I beat that? If it's taunt Cerulege, guess I gotta be somewhat mindful of that. What is it, Terra Bug? I think I have to think about that. I guess I gotta be mindful of taunt. I guess I have Encore. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I have Encore. Never mind. So the biggest threat on his team is this thing right here. Bulk up Corviknight also destroys, so that's gonna be the primary win con. But I'm trying to think of a way to have Gallade do some shit here. And his Breloom is annoying, like very annoying. Terrain extender. How do I deal with your Loom? Assuming Sash. I actually have to go for the terrain early, which gives him an opportunity to get the Xianpao in, but the Loom is too problematic, which blows because I might just die here to Bullet Seed, but I might not. So Dazzling Gleam is always the play first, probably Sash, so there's no point. Yeah, so he spores. There's nothing I could have done about that. Now this does make his Cerulege a bigger issue, right? Because now he can obviously just do whatever he so chooses. Corviknight's gonna be able to come in on either Bullet Seed / Mach Punch / whatever. So there's a chance this thing has CC. It's, man, that blow. I'm going to Roost first, and the odd chance. Okay, it goes hard Cerulege. Again, it could be. Well, it'd have to be bulk up. It'd have to be. It'd have to be bulk up. So the core of likely guard, say Flame Charge, is very interesting. As I said, I toxic through his team. This is lower ladder, so you will see stuff like this. Now Pex, we don't want Pex to get too low as Breloom comes in. We just recover spam here. Oh, that's doing a lot of damage. Shit. Oh, we gotta go Corvi here. Yeah, we can't have that. Oh boy. So he dies. And Pex guards against Volk. He sets up anyway, unless he's like Terra Psychic or something, which would body me. It's Terra Grass. But as I said, Pex. This is why we structured the back end of the team like this. If you recall, I said in the video, I'm like, we need to make sure that, let's say the front end, right now the front end mons aren't doing much. The Indeedee, the Masquerade, the Gallade, but we have such a solid defensive backbones that between Pex and Corviknight, all things are handled, right? And so we'll haze first. He's gonna forfeit now. Doesn't forfeit. Okay, actually double toxic is better. There's no reason to. So we've confirmed that this probably walls everything except his Garchomp. So if he goes hard Garchomp here as a means to stop the low risk to toxic, he goes, okay, excellent. It's very low risk play. So yeah, it's really the best play here is for me to haze spam. But he pivots into the Chomp Finale. We could actually Terra Fairy here and just wall the remainder of his team, but we need the poison type to guard against his Volcarona. So he ends up forfeiting as we get to the 1500s. I'll grab one last one, and then that'll round out this version of the team. Well, not this version, but the squad thus far. I'd like to hear your thoughts below. From what I said in the beginning of the video, but also just on your experience of the channel as of late, right? I know my attention is split, and when it is It just feels different in the videos than when I was like going in for number one. There's just like a thrill to things. And I'm still doing it right now, but I guess because it's in the lower ladder right now, you know, maybe for my viewers, it's just like, oh, well, yeah, we'll wait until you get higher up. Those are the games we enjoy, but I'm playing them the same way, so I don't know. But in this one, certainly Gallade. Like, I'd love for Gallade to get a sweep here. It's very, very, like with the hazards, he's that guy. You know what I'm saying? He's that guy. Indeed, he's literally there to just support Gallade. It's very hard for him to switch into, if not impossible. Miarscorada, typing wise, is an abomination. Pex can't get around the golden go, but everything else it actually does really well, very well versus. He has no ground resist or immunity, so while my Tusk isn't bulk up, it still has some power here. And then Corviknight is the go-to guy. I think Corviknight's certainly going to sweep my opponent in the late game. So the question is, what is the biggest problem to me? All right, so Shampa, of course. Of course. So phase one is going to involve a Pexing, right? A Pexing. What's the reason for that? If I get Haxed here, it's going to be tough. So I'm actually really glad to see Tinglu here for two reasons. Oh, whoa, bruh. So something my homeboy used to say, bruh. That's not good. There are a couple of ways we can go about this. I'm going to rocks first. What did he do? Ruination. Interesting. Very interesting. Terra Steel. This is a problem. So, phase one, I didn't expect him to go Goldie hard. Just say people mindlessly go then go. It's just what happens in these games these days. So we're gonna do phase one, covers for recover or make it rain, going into Corviknight. Then we're gonna pivot to Miarscorada on his recover. What the fuck are you doing, dude? Why do you have that? I'm really peeved. I'm like tight about that. Like, what the fuck? Thunder. So what? You don't have Nasty Plot? That's big. That's a big deal. Okay. Spike would go a long way. It's gonna hurt still. I need to not get hacked here. What the fuck? Oh, his randomness really messed me up here. Cause I don't have a spin blocker, that's why I didn't spike. I don't think he might not have recovered, and I apologize for the sound in the background, guys. I'll try to wrap this up quickly. But that changed a lot. Especially his Tinglu. I wonder if he's slower than my Great Tusk. If I go Indeed, he can go Slowking and he gets away, which is the problem. I'm actually going to go Tusk here. He's at -2. I think I'm faster. I mean, I might not be. What the fuck? There's no way he doesn't have Shadow Ball. Okay, so that's annoying, but my pecs, yeah, like dude has the most random stuff. This is a phenomenal example of what we described. Like, he threw my shit all the way off. Like, all the way off. So now really it's coming down to your boy Corviknight. So it goes for Make It Rain again. Are we seeing Tinglu here? I mean, we could. Yeah. So this is getting getting doozy. The whirlwinds. This is man. It's funny, dude's just like gonna Thunder Wave my fucking Toxapex. It's 3000% Thunder Wave my Toxapex. Fucking A, man. So it goes to Great Tusk. He has the attack raise. Now this is an issue. I can't Terra. Man, like this is a true issue. Well, my Indeedee, unless he spins, it's because my Indeedee outspeeds him now. But if I lose this, his Volcarona can sweep me. So let's say he's worst case scenario, he gets the rapid spin off. Let's say I Terra Fairy and Toxic. How would I stall the Volk? Man, this is actually really fucking Thunderwave Confuse Ray. Which is funny, if I just killed the Goldengo the first time with the Great Tusk, we wouldn't be in this spot. Oh man, this isn't good. Alright, so what I'll do is go Tusk first, right? He attacks first, which is what I was hoping for. Rapid Spin doesn't really matter. But he goes for his, which I figured he would. But I was saying Rapid Spin in terms of CC. I should tank. Yes, that is really important. That's a really important survival there. But it's not enough. Indeedee dies. Scarlet is slower. Pex would have to Terra and Surf. I got a Terra Pex. Yeah, it's gonna be a motherfucker here. It's gonna be a motherfucker here of an end game. Who would have thought, bros? Who would have thought that I have Haze and Pex as max Spadef, so I do have that going for me. I don't have any hazards anymore, and this Tinglu walls me to infinitum. So let's think. If I go Scarada, knock this thing's item off. I go Gallade and Sharpness. So what I'll actually have to do is I have to recover this first. Which blows because you're gonna get rocks up for free. He actually goes through EQ. So now I'm in range of getting a recovery. Okay, he only has rocks. I'm tripping. Yeah, so he only has rocks, which means Whirlwind. So we go hard. Miar Scarlet here. See rocks, which I'm expecting. Do I need the spikes for any KO? No. I need this Tinglu's item gone though. So we're gonna give up Meow, and ideally he Whirlwinds, he Earthquakes though. So this allows us to go to Delayed. And Sacred Sword, funnily enough, I was gonna say, funnily enough, Agility. Jesus! Sheesh! Sheesh! So it's all on fucking. So Volk comes in. Volk has to attack my Gallade. Pex eats 2 hits. I get to Toxic. Yeah, so he seems to be bulky Volk. Please, Pex. Okay. So Oster Tinglu, as we said, we're gonna always recover here. To the point where we can regen. So Surf, Ruinations, Earthquake did. I was gonna say, actually a crit would have killed me. That's not good. EQ's 11. So eventually Whirlwind. So we go Corviknight here on the EQ. He's already Terra'd. So Korov obviously can win the game. So we roost here first. Ruinations. That shit gets stalled too. Goes hard Volk. I actually don't think I die here if he's bulky. I mean, he did 33% to my pecs though. That might be offensive. We'll just play it cool. Because he has to go for Fiery Dance. 33%. He doesn't get the boost, which is blessed. Okay, outs for Tinglu again, as he should. Doubles back to Volk. 33%. That was super risky. %. If I come in, I'm gonna lose. It's gonna be close if he gets the special attack boost. Gotta give Ndidi up here. Gonna encore on the odd chance he tries to boost. Okay. Whew! Okay. So he has to EQ. Whirlwind. Come on, bro. You're gonna give me Ndidi? Like, of all things. Actually, it's probably better to if I could agility here, I'd win. But I'll just dazzling gleam here. The reason is I can't have him double switching out. I get my Gallade in. The Xianpao is going to luck himself into victory. If I agility and he gives Volk up, he's not gonna switch. Oh, he goes hard pow. What? He just lost. I know Volk is not killing my fucking Gallade at 59%. Oh shit, fucking King Lade! Let's go! King Lade! What the fuck was he thinking? Oh shit, it's crazy because, as I said, his poor decision making in the beginning. I've said this a million times to people. His poor decision making in the beginning in weird sets are the reason he was even in the position to threaten me to begin with. And then the poor decision making is what lost him the game. But his particular sets were, like, because I was forced to Terra Fairy. I haven't seen Terra steal Tinglu in God. Well, I've Tinglu firstly. Who uses Tinglu, right? But yeah, that was crazy. And all I'm thinking is, man, if I had a Garganical, he had covert Goldengo, but in the one covert motherfucking, confused Ray Goldengo in the game. So Gallade could have bloodied him. Like that was satisfying in the end game. Gallade 8. And he was a fast ass Volcarona, which explains why Psycho cut one shot. But Gallade's natural buck came through. Man, we had our first like what the hell? We might take an L here. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button for that last game, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.